Murph, what does an average recruit trip look like for yourself, with these long days ahead?
I guess it depends how far the drive is. Obviously, you're driving to the destination and doing some work kind of along the way, depending on how far the drive is. So, I'll call some other recruits while I'm going, just to, either catch up or make contact with them, and then once you get to the rink, you're just kind of taking in the game, evaluating, certain players, and then going down to the locker room afterwards and talking to the guys that you need to make contact with, and that's pretty much it. It's kind of over and back for most of them. Unless you're going to a showcase, typically I don't stay the night, so it's kind of just in and out real quick. Short drive over, for today, going over to Uitca, so it's a quick 3-hour drive, watch a couple games, and then come back home after.
As the head coach, how important are these, recruit trips for you, whether that's a big showcase or today, whether you're just going to see one guy?
Yeah, it's always important. It's important to get as much face time as you can throughout the year, and obviously we get really busy from October to December and then January to March. So you're always evaluating guys. It's for the sake of today, we're going to watch one guy, but I'll take some notes on some of the younger guys that we'll kind of continue to follow throughout their junior career and stuff like that. So yeah, it's important to get face time with them. It's important to get face time with the coaches, and kind of make and build those relationships. And yeah, for something like this, again, it's a pretty short drive over and back. So it's nice to get away from the hockey office and get out and watch some hockey.
Or is there any music or songs or podcasts that you normally listen to on the road, with these long days ahead of you?
Yeah, usually if I'm not calling kids or in between phone calls or whatever, I'll usually put on some hockey coaching podcasts. I don't have anything favorite, a certain podcast or anything like that. Just whatever maybe I come across through on social media or emails or anything like that I find are interesting. I'll kind of pull up. Don't listen to a whole lot of music. It's either some hockey podcasts or I'm making phone calls to recruits.
So the player that we are going to be seeing today is Jake Meure, playing in the USPHL for the Ogden Mustangs. 101 points in 51 games. He is already committed to the team. Talk about his game and just some of the things you're looking for him, in the game today.
Today, he was a guy that we hadn't seen play live this year. Everything we had done was video on Hockey TV. So part of coming out here was just obviously see him live and again face to face, and get to watch him in person and chat a little bit before the game and after the game with him and stuff like that. I just want to see the intangibles for him, and at least get a sense or a good idea of some of the things that we're going to need to work on with him next year. Some of the things that he does well that we can build on, and just kind of get a little bit of a feel for his game as far as where he may or may not slot into our lineup, and just learn a little bit more about himself as a hockey player.
Jake, you had a big game today, beating the Charlotte Rush 4-3. You were a big part of that as well. You had a goal and an assist, the game-winning goal, matter of fact. Just, take us through the game and just, the adversity you guys played with today.
We were backs against the wall after losing our first game, and we had to win this one in order for us to move on. And, Charlotte's a really good team. We knew we had to come out and play, and just got the job done. That's all that mattered.
So, Jake, for the people listening, kind of just describe your play style a little bit. You're very creative in the O-zone, but what else do you do to make yourself so giftedly talented offensively?
Just work hard. You're not going to get any scoring chances if you don't work hard, and I feel like that's something I've been really trying to improve on the last few years in my development, just continuing to work hard, grind in the corners, and be able to create chances for myself.
So you're officially committed to Buff State now. Kind of take us through that process. Like, who reached out to you first, and how was the recruitment process for yourself?
Well, Steve reached out to me a couple years ago, actually. He actually tendered my brother in the North American League when he coached there. So I kind of knew him from there, and when he reached out, just talked to him a little bit. I already had interest, and this year he reached out again. I really like the school. My parents always talk about it, and once they offered me the spot, I was like, all right, I'm going.
Head coach Steve Murphy, you've only had so many interactions with him so far, but what can you say about him?
He loves hockey. He knows hockey. And every time I have a phone call with him, he's pointing out things that I would never see on the ice. So I just know he's a really smart guy. He's a really good coach, and I'm excited to play under him.
Have you had a chance to talk to any of the guys yet that are on the team, and if so, who and how did that interaction go?
I've only had a chance to have one text conversation with Connor Bazal. He just texted me after I committed, congratulating me. But other than that, haven't talked to anybody yet. But really excited to meet the guys.
All right. What about Buffalo State is exciting you the most, other than just the team? I don't know if you have a chance to be there yet, but if you have the campus, city life, anything.
Just a city life. Every person I talk to that talks about Buffalo just talked about how awesome the city is and how much stuff there is for you to do there. And that was a really big thing for me.
So I don't know if you got any chance to watch games last year at Buff State, but if you did, what was something that impressed the team the most, and what can you add to the team, watching from last year?
Add whatever I can, but what impressed me the most is just the guys really working hard, and then the conference is obviously really good. I've heard a lot of good things, and just watching it on Hockey TV or wherever you can watch it is it's really good hockey. I was able to tune in for your game against Cortland when you guys won in the playoffs, and that was a nail-biter, and just to see the guys clamp down at the end there was really impressive to watch.
So you're a captain on your own team. Obviously, going into Buff State, you're going to be going into a younger role. But being a leader on your own team right now, how can that affect you being a leader? Going into the future, going on a new team.
Just taking my experiences here and bringing it there. It's really all it is. There's only so much I'm going to be able to do there. Just step in, play my game, do what I can to contribute, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
All right, just one more thing. Obviously, you still got a little bit of junior hockey left, but is there just a memory that you've just loved or just remember, the most?
There's been so many. I can't really choose. I've had a lot of really good games. Probably the biggest one. My first career junior game, playing in front of nearly 2,000 people. I was really nervous and ended up getting a hat trick. So I guess that was a pretty cool moment.